Buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster ride of some tasteless humor, lots of heart, and radical truth with two scrappy chicks. Because adulting is hard, but we are thinking that laughing about it is just so much easier.
Action.
Okay, welcome back. By the time you hear this, it will be Tuesday. Again, we're recording on a Saturday because tomorrow's Mother's Day. So, hope you all had a good Mother's Day. Um, whether you're
Happy
a
Mother's Day to
yes,
everybody.
mother, stepmother, fur baby mama, you all count. Mother figure, wonderful
That's
aunt.
right. Yes.
So let's start with the chain of um how do we call this? Beware of your
Your
surroundings.
surroundings.
Thank you. Especially in parking lots
Beware.
and when you have little kids,
Don't be so trusting.
huh? You can get distracted.
Especially in public.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
don't, I mean, get in and out of the car. To me, always be ready to, exit. I carry mace on me just in case. Um, I would say back in the day, we could use our keys to harm someone, but we really don't have.
We don't want them to be that we don't want them to be that close. We want them to be far away.
Yeah, but I don't have keys. I have a fob.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. So better to have, mace since all our cars are just fobs now. But like, for instance, if you need to do something like change your baby, don't do it in the car unless you're able to shut the door and do it. Like if you have a SUV or a van, like, putting the seats down in that and lock your car. Because you never know when someone might come up and ask you for money or something. And if you don't give them what they want, you think they really care
You
what
don't know
you're
how they'll
doing?
react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Uh, so shame.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, as soon as you get in your car, lock it. If you have to change your
yeah,
baby in the car, get in, get in, lock it immediately. Everything needs to be locked. Be aware of your surroundings. Who's parked next to you?
yeah,
Who's walking around? Unfortunately, we do not live in a safe world.
right.
And that goes for guys too. I think guys can get a little lackadaisical too with their safety. So same thing for them.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Just be careful in parking lots. Even if it's, at night, just, be aware. And if crazy stuff is like on your car, don't even touch it. I've heard things that it's like laced where they can make knock you out. So like
Yeah.
trafficking isn't just like sexual trafficking. They can traffic you to harvest your organs.
Yeah.
So, okay, that is it for that. Next, we were gonna up give not an update, but a what would you call it? The
Like a review.
Wellness Expo. Yeah, a review.
Yeah.
The Wellness Expo. Um, I liked it. I noticed there was a lot of like astrological people doing readings.
Astrological. Yeah. Astrologers. Yeah.
Yeah, doing readings and fortune telling in that. There was a couple massaging things, lots of jewelries, rocks.
Energy healing.
Huh?
Energy healing.
Yes, yes. Um, so yeah, it was interesting. I did not buy anything. I just grabbed the goodie bag. The goodie bag was good. We got some goodies from being there at the beginning.
Yeah,
And
just walking in, just being there, one of the earlier ones to get there.
yeah. Oh, and yoga. There's quite a bit of yoga
Bougie, yeah.
things too.
Bald and bald and
Yes,
bougie
bald and
yoga.
bougie. Yeah. And um I won 5 classes, free classes, and I thought, okay, cool.
And they gave a beautiful little
Giveaway
gift, I
box.
want to say, little yeah, little giveaway box. And thank you for giving me a little giveaway box. I was funny, not funny, having issues with my sciatica, and I wanted to go. Didn't get very far, so we split in the beginning. I didn't want to hold you back. I'm like, go look around because I've been there before. Go look around, peruse, and I was just walking around just trying to see if I could find you, and then I found this one table. But we'll go over that later. You got to tell your story.
Yeah, so I hit every booth and they did give out a bag, but I did bring my bag. And there's one skin I'm sorry for yawning. There's one skincare that I bought samples from. So that's the only thing I bought. I paid $10 for their little sample. It's called Labrie and it's pure and natural. And I haven't been consistent with it, so I can't really give a review on it, but I will when I'm consistent. And because I'm always looking for something that is good when it comes to natural, whether it's face, body, hair, and all that. Uh, what else did I see there that was interesting? Um, just a lot of information out there, lot to absorb.
Yeah.
But
Oh, there is.
yeah, but the downside was this block that
Do you know what it was? Well, I don't even know if we should say what it is, but do you even know what it was? What it was called? I don't.
um yeah, it was called
I know it reminded me of a clog, a wooden clog.
yeah, it was called U block.
Okay.
And it was it was oiled and one side was flat. It was like big like a brick. The other side was curved and supposedly is supposed to help for people like me who have the plantar fasciitis. And I did the demo, and let me tell you, it didn't take too long after that my foot was worse. And when I found you, you were at the patches.
Yeah, the energy healing patches.
Yes. And so they put one on my foot, and I walked around for the second time around with the girls, which I would have been happy after the first time, but I didn't, the girls came later and I didn't want to leave them. So the next day I had back pain, my lower back in the middle. I was like, oh, this is wonderful, considering I have a physical job. So I got through it. The next day was a different story. I don't know what happened, but it was worse. It was so bad. And I was like, how am I going to do this? I'm like, but I have to. I gotta do some changes, like maybe perhaps find somebody to hire and take a step back from being so physical. and that's gonna take a lot because I just don't trust anybody. But um
I know. I know.
I was lucky I just had to do a house and office Tuesday, and my customers were helping me bring my stuff up and down the stairs. So that was helpful. And I just been icing it, my foot and my back, because my foot was hurting too. And then same with Wednesday, customers helped me bring my stuff up and down. And Thursday, I seemed to be okay at the first one. And then the second one, I was just like, oh my God, I just got to get through this. I got to get through this. And even same with yesterday. It was fine for the first one, but just hurt.
Yeah, yeah, you're aggravating it the more time you're doing it. I
Yeah,
get it. Yeah.
hurting at the second. So, and then even getting in the car, it was like, oh my God. And it's more the left side than the right. And like as soon as I get in the car and I'm backing up, that left side, that pain just goes shooting right up. And I was like, are you kidding me?
I know.
And then yesterday, the pain was going up to like the mid of the back. I was like, oh, come on. And when I, and you were laughing, you're like, really? You're laying on the dog bed? Yeah, I was laying on the floor on the dog bed. And using my lumbar I it may be called something else, but it's foam and it has different textures to it. And I've been pressing on my back with it and it helps. That's probably the only reason why I'm able to sit in this chair and record. I've been icing it, but I am going to look into either telehealth or going to the doctor and probably seeing a chiropractor. And then I looked at my shoes because I
Yeah.
love wearing my Under Armour slides. And I'm like, okay, these are 2 years old and they're running down. And also, I may be uneven right now because I have been uneven before. And when they straightened me back out, I was fine. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Chiropractor, that's really important. I know you and I have been talking about that. I know I'm going back. I have to the same thing. And it's really interesting that it's my left side and your left side. Both, well, for me, it's a sciatica. For you, it's your lower back, but it's still going down
yeah.
your left side.
And that's
And
the side with my sciatica and it's not bothering me. It's just my lower back and the sad part is I can't bend. I have to get down. I either got to get on my knees or kind of do a lunge bend where I'm like
yeah,
leaning up
yeah,
against the wall. And so because I can't get my socks on, I ordered a thing to help me get my socks on because I don't want anybody helping me put my socks on. And I probably
yeah. I know it's amazing how you have to get creative all of a sudden.
yeah, I probably need to go get a pedicure now. So, yeah, and what else?
Yes, let's put that on our list, our mani pedis, and I also want a facial. But what I wanted to say too for people, it's like these fairs are absolutely amazing. The energy is phenomenal. The
Hmm.
people that are there are just top tier, so kind, so caring. The women that we met, and it's for the LifeWave phototherapy patches,
Hmm.
and I just happened to go to their table and I looked down. Of course, I was in pain, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, I need to know more about this. But what I wanted to tell people is kind of a cautionary thing. Just use a lot of your discretion when you go, especially if you're inflamed and you have any type of ongoing injury or inflammatory condition. The last thing you want to do is do what Ginger did and try out a wooden block, because I'm not saying that that couldn't be beneficial if you're in a different spot, you're not injured and you're not inflamed. If you're inflamed, especially, you're going to pull all kinds of things that are inflamed, and it's not gonna go well, and you're gonna injure yourself more, which is unfortunately what I honestly think happened with you. You were already injured, you were inflamed, and I'm sure they were trying to be helpful. It's just that when your body is inflamed, it doesn't do what it would do normally when you're not inflamed. You know what I mean? There's more stretch, more give, more forgiveness in your body. And when you're inflamed, you got none of that. Like I could tell you from experience. When you're inflamed and you're injured, as you know now, there is very little room, like very little wiggle room for, anything new or different. You just kind of, like you said, you just got to try and stay as still as you can. Ice therapy, heat therapy, chiropractic care. I really believe in that, but even with that too, you got to be careful. Because I do want to go again, and hopefully I'll be well to go because I think they have it again in November or October. But yeah, when you go there, just be careful if you're trying out something new and you're already not in a good spot. That's my 2 cents. And oh yeah. So did you want to talk about the your friends and neighbors update, or did you want to get into those cases? Because we've been seeing a lot more of these cases with, unfortunately, women being murdered by their intimate partner, IPV, intimate partner violence. And I think you specifically were telling me about two separate cases.
Yes. First one, this happened in 2024. Her name was Krista Bar Gilly, because I am not going to name the a-hole.
No,
I'm going to name the
no, we're
victim.
not.
She was pregnant
Yes.
and she was killed by her husband, and he was on an ankle monitor. And why somebody who's being convicted of murder is on an ankle monitor is beyond me. And his court date was
Right.
coming up, and he cut it and somehow fled to Canada and then to Italy and had a fake passport. And the fake passport was what alerted the authorities. And he was trying to claim asylum in Italy because he said if he goes back, he's going to get the death penalty. Well,
God willing.
yeah, this is Texas, and they said that that wasn't on the agenda. So
Oh,
stay
to try and
tuned.
get him extradited?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, Italy, Italy, let me just tell you, Italy, if you're listening, y'all need to hand him over. You do not want a murderer in your country because whatever he's done here, he will do there. So send him back. Call the Texas Mounties, Texas Rangers. Call them. They'll come get him. Drop him. Put him on the first ship over, first boat, whatever. They need to send him back. Not a
Yeah.
good look for any country to harbor a murderer.
Yeah, so stay tuned about that case. The next one was most recent. Very well-known family. They had a restaurant. They lived in a very elite part of Texas that I think they said who lived in that area. Well, not one of our favorite people, Joel Osteen. And then I think there was a basketball or football player that lived in that area. And he killed his wife and two kids and then himself. And they do not know why. And they're saying, you never know what someone's going through. But still, it's like, what is going on that these men are either murdering their wives, their children, some themselves, some not. I mean, what the hell is going on in their heads
Yeah.
that they're doing this?
And I've been covering a lot of that on my Solo and Sovereign series about intimate partner violence. And you made a very good point, and we had talked about this previously. Like, is it just us, or is it escalating? Because I really feel like there's many people that are seeing the same thing. It's like, why is there so much of this? And we don't want to hide behind, mental illness, and we also don't want to disregard it. We also just can't excuse it because it's very interesting to me how Congress can address the male loneliness crisis, but they're not addressing the femicide that's happening in this country. You can hear about two or three that are happening a day. Hello, something has to be done.
Mhm.
And when women go and ask for help, they're often not believed, they're not helped, and or the system is limited. I don't know. Restraining orders don't do a dang bit of good. And you're saying that guy was out for whatever reason with an ankle monitor for murder, which is beyond me. But that's the thing. If you have money, you're not going to be held accountable like the people who don't, because you're not going to have the option to bail yourself out. So this is where the law really needs to be a lot more stringent and strict. So you're accused of murder, they maybe need to hold on to you because anybody can be a flight risk, right?
Yes.
He left the country, but everyone else can just flee the state, and then what? And then it becomes somebody else's, horror film. It's just a lot. But we were speculating too. What is causing this? Is it always been this way, and we're just knowing about it because of how quickly information travels through all these through the internet and social media platforms? Or is it because of, I mean, let's face it, there was something that happened in 2020 and a lot of people got this particular treatment, we'll call it. And I told you before that have felt like ever since that happened, I have been seeing so many raging people. And it brings my mind back to two movies, I Am Legend and
Mm.
28 Days Later. And I think you did see I Am Legend, did you not?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, and the 28 Days Later, though, you haven't, and they've had a couple of sequels or prequels after that. And it's about these people that, they had some kind of treatment, and it drove people, they couldn't control themselves. They were just raging. And obviously, in the movie, it was a lot more extreme. But I don't know about you. You and I have been seeing this on the roads, especially all people are just so angry and aggressive. And it's like, why? We're not like that.
No.
What is causing this surge in anger and rage?
Well, we agree on what it could be, but don't want to get,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, but
Well, it's curious because you know that they're studying everything, and I'd just be very curious to know even the details on that second case where you said this was a very well-known family and
yeah,
they own restaurants and everything. And here's the thing: is that there doesn't even have to be any violence in the home, but it's this coercive control, and it can be how that person restricts your movements, restricts what you do, what you say, questions you constantly. It doesn't ever even have to be any physical violence before the actual ultimate event. So I'll be very curious to follow that case. We got to add that to our list to follow up on. Just like, can I give a real quick update for Kelsey Fitzsimmons?
yes.
So I just heard that Kelsey Fitzsimmons at her latest case, her latest hearing went very well for her. She is getting more supervised visitation with her son, which is the most important thing. She is being reunited with her child. And secondly, I think that the issue that I have with it is I don't understand why she's having supervised visitation when she was acquitted of all charges. It was never proven by anybody, whether personally or professionally, that that little baby did not receive the top tier care that he got. He was perfect. He was safe. He was cared for. He was not abused or neglected. So how this person who orchestrated this whole event against her to have that baby taken from her, why that person is allowed to have full custody, physical and legal custody of that baby. Legal system has a very, very long way to go. We know how it's set up. Do we not, ladies? Yes, we do. I am grateful though that at least she's able to spend time with him, supervised or not. And I'm sure these visits are going to continue to go well. And just like you and I were saying about the other case, that we know that these people who are the other party, the partner, that when they see someone doing well, we're going to start to see their true colors. That it's never about the child, it's about them and their control over the other party, which is the woman. We know that Kelsey's going to do very well. She's going to do perfectly with these visitations, and she's going to get more and more and more time with her child. It's going to be supervised initially, but then eventually she's going to have unsupervised. And I think it's going to come down to probably shared custody. And God willing, there will be an investigation into him and his cohorts that helped him, again, orchestrate this whole situation against her to have that baby removed from her because of, every other reason except for what they're claiming against her. But yeah, I'm just so happy for her that it's moving forward in the right direction. And of course it is, because she's a great lady and it will continue to go well for her. And then you, if you want to, give that update about Taylor, because I know you know more about that than I do.
Yes, Taylor, um, she does have a court date in June, and the judge needed a little bit more time to think about increasing her parenting time. So
Mm-hmm.
he upped it to, um, I think, hold on, she's gonna get 12 hours on Mother's Day. It's still supervised, and she has 8 hours a week, and it's been increased to 12 hours a week. And I can't imagine
Good.
that. I mean, she had 70/30, and there's no charges that are going to be filed from the stuff that he claimed. And because of the video from 2023 where she threw a chair and her daughter was there, and I'm hearing conflicting reports that her daughter got hit, her daughter didn't get hit. I don't know. But still, you shouldn't be throwing anything when a child's around, no matter how pissed off you are. But both of them have to go through counseling of domestic, violence. And then they also have to take assessments and that. So then when they come back in not July, June, then they'll regroup and see if she can get some more time. And I hope she does. Um,
She will. She will, because her too. She's going to do very well because she's not in that toxic
yeah.
environment. And then you said also too something also really great. Isn't her show coming out?
Well, Reality Steve said it, and I am seeing, of course, it's TMZ saying it. It says her season is not on ABC's summer schedule. So I don't know. They could um release it on Hulu and just have everyone stream it.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. But there's a possibility. And what's the name of that show again? I forget.
Oh, The Bachelorette.
Okay. Okay. So they could still release it, and it's kind of because I've heard that too. When you mentioned that to me, I'm like, oh, I heard that, and I hope it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm curious. Because supposedly the guy she was engaged to, Doug Mason, spoiler alert, but I'm sorry, people have heard this probably already. But supposedly they're kind of working on things. I don't know. Could be just a rumor.
A rumor, a dirty rumor.
Yeah. Oh, Um, there was one
We'll
more,
see.
yeah, one more domestic violent case where the guy, he was is in Tennessee, retired Army Special Forces. He shot his wife and took off. She's okay. She's out of the hospital. But there was a manhunt for him and they're like, he can survive with the knowledge he has. And they found him with a self-inflicted gun wound. So he is
Wow.
no longer alive. And the wife survived, so that was a good thing. And what else? Oh, you wanted to talk about the flock cameras.
Oh, yeah. So if anybody's been paying attention or, not been trying to hide under a rock, which believe me, many days I want to find a rock and crawl under it and disappear. But flock cameras, because I feel like that's going to be the only place that they're not going to be able to track us. But I don't know. I think that they probably could anyway. But there are a lot of cameras. I mean, so many more than I could have ever imagined. And they're whether they're flock or called something else, I don't know, but there is actually an app and I got it on my phone and it's called Don't Get Flocked, Flocked, and you can pick a route, like you would normally in your GPS or, Google Maps, whatever, and it will show you how many cameras you can avoid by taking an alternate route. For me, from my home to my job, taking this alternate route would help me avoid 21 cameras. That's insane. And I have been watching a lot of, people going to, council meetings, town meetings, and saying, there's really no reason for this. Of course, they're always going to purport to say, oh, it's for crime. We're going to prevent crime. We're going to solve more crimes. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. It's never used for that purpose. It's more used for surveilling and gaining more information. And from what I'm hearing, is that these flat cameras will be reporting and do report to all this information is going into a database, and they're going to be able to give you a ticket for some kind of road infraction, and you're not going to have any way to dispute it. Let's say, for instance, you're going from point A to point B, and they determine that it would take X amount of time for you to get from point A to point B. And if you get to point B too quickly, you're going to get a speeding ticket. Now, I'm sure there's people out there going, oh, that's impossible. That can't happen. Wait, just wait. Unfortunately, this is a way that they can do many things that we can't even imagine with that information. And how are you going to then dispute it or refute it? How can you defend yourself against something when they're going to tell you, well, isn't that you? Isn't that your vehicle? When they've probably got hundreds, if not thousands, of videos of you in your car day and night going to and fro from wherever you're going, and they could make up any kind of story and say, well, we've got the evidence, it's right here, it's all on these cameras. And you're going to be like, what are you going to say? I wasn't there, I didn't do it, I didn't, what are you trying to say? Or they could send you, tickets in the mail, one right after the other, and say, well, again, it should have taken you X amount of time to get from here and there, and it got, you got there just a second too early, or a minute or 5 minutes, whatever the determination is. So yeah, we got to fight against that because that's bad. And then the cars, and I think we did talk about this too. This AI situation where they have the kill switch. It's already done. Government's already signed it into law. So these vehicles are going to be released, and they're going to be able to tell you whether or not you're going to be able to drive your vehicle based on what you look like, what you sound like, if you're not sitting up straight enough, if you look tired, you look drowsy. They're trying to prevent, impaired driving. What does that mean? Are you not then going to be able to wear sunglasses? because they're not going to be able to, focus on your eyes and get the AI, information on your eyes, and you have to keep your eyes straight forward all the time. What happens if you look to your left or look to your right? Or dare to have a sip of coffee or a bite of a sandwich? Like, what are they going to say? You're drinking and then stop the gas going to your motor and your car's just going to stop? I mean, the scenarios are limitless. And if you're a woman, especially this, I mean, this is for women and children, honestly. These cameras tracking your every movement, and of course, these AI cars, which I'm sure is hackable. Everything's hackable. If you're driving at night on a stretch of, you have told me how many times do you drive on country roads, and there's long stretches where there's not a lot of people or businesses and stuff. What happens if all of a sudden your car just goes, you know what? We think you're a little too tired. We think you're impaired or whatever. So we're just going to cut the gas off to your car. You have no way to turn your car on to go. So now you're stuck out there. What are you going to do when the car that you're paying for will not allow you to drive it because some AI algorithm has determined that you're not fit to drive? Or if you're in a panic because someone's chasing you, or you're afraid, what happens if, you're in a situation where you're afraid and you're trying to get somewhere and they're going to read in your face and your eyes that your eyes are dilated? Does that mean you're impaired? And you're trying to get out of a bad situation and then the gas is cut on your car? I don't know. I think we have a lot of problems that are coming forth, and what they do is they issue all these new advancements, quote unquote advancements in technologies, and there's no laws in place. So unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot of problems that are happening which are going to drive the laws, but by that time it's just going to be too late. So we have to, I think, try and be a little more proactive in our towns and our areas. I just did not know about all these freaking cameras going up. So we will have a link at the show notes for this app that you can put on your phone. Don't get flocked. For the flock cameras. I don't know if there's any other brand or type out there, but I'll look at that as well to see if you can find some alternate routes to avoid as many as you can, at least. Maybe not all of them, but I don't know. What do you think? How do you feel about that? I think you said you weren't too worried about it. I beg to differ. How do you feel though? Seriously.
Um, yeah, I mean, like you said, yeah, not too worried about it because I mean, everywhere you go, there's cameras, whether it's a business or my neighbors. I mean, we have cameras. So I guess we just
But that's
time
not
will
a
tell, huh?
centralized database though. That's going, yeah. But that's not like you said, a store's cameras, your cameras. That's not a centralized system where it's going directly into government databases, right?
Yeah. So stay tuned.
And then, yeah, stay tuned. We will be sure to tell you what happens if anything happens. I'm sure
Yeah.
something will.
Um, and let's see. Well, like I said, this is Saturday, tomorrow's Mother's Day. Um, I haven't had my mom since 2015, and I was born to older parents, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. Um, it's sad to watch some of these shows, or even, friends of mine who didn't have a good relationship with their mom, is being a stranger that, and I'm just lucky that I had an awesome mom, and I miss her very much. You want to say anything?
Yeah. So, nope. Just happy Mother's Day to everybody, and I hope everyone is healthy and well. And we didn't get to our friends and neighbors, but that's okay. We'll get to it next time.
Yes, and I'm still obsessed with James Marston, even though he has a young
Yes, she is. I
girlfriend.
can vouch for that. No, right. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We love our scrappy peeps. So thank you all for joining us and becoming part of our flock. So please like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't like us, unfortunately, yo mama. But if you do like us, we look forward to seeing you next time on Two Scrappy Chicks.